Okay, girls, so hopefully you have added some things to your list, and please feel free to build on your list. You don't have to post your list in the forum anytime soon if you don't want to. This can be a really big process, and it can take a lot of time to work through. Defining yourself is not necessarily an easy task, especially if you've had a lot of brokenness and you've never had a voice. So one of the things that I want to encourage you about is that little changes have extremely big effects. So when you start making these little changes that are a result of writing out this mission statement, you're going to be so much more focused in how you live your life, and even subtle little things are going to have that big effect, not just in your life, but in the people around you that are observing how you live your life. And usually, like really typically, that's going to be your children, your spouse, your extended family, and probably your closer inner circle of friends. They're going to see that you are living with purpose and with passion, and that's exactly what you want. One of the things that I really believe in is that when you live with purpose and passion, is that you impact other people for good. And I think that's a really beautiful thing. You want people to remember the little things about you. Like for an example, I went to a funeral a while ago, and the people that came out and shared stories about this woman's life really impacted me because she touched them so deeply. She just really, truly impacted the community around her. And it was really beautiful to see. Now, I know somebody that has really shut themselves off from just any relationship of any kind. And I wonder, when that person passes, gosh, what will the conversation be like at their funeral? I mean, it's just going to be such a stark contrast to this endeared woman that is so missed in my community to this bitter, angry, selfish man that just was stingy. And it's kind of like watching the Christmas Carol, you know, when he gets a glimpse of the Christmas future and he goes through all of that and he starts to see, wow, he's really got to make all these changes because nobody's going to be missing this guy. It's the same kind of thing. Live with passion and live with purpose. So little changes have really big effects, and you'll see it. You'll be really glad that you did it. The other thing that I want to encourage you about is being committed to yourself. Now, at the bottom of this page, there's going to be a little spiel for you to copy into your journal, and it'll say, well, we'll use me for an example. I, Sharon Hughes, commit to being my authentic self, and I'm going to date it and sign it. Commitment causes upward mobility. Whenever you are committed to something, it spawns change, and that change spawns impact. So you're starting to see it's almost a little bit of a domino type of effect. When you are committed to being your authentic self, change has to happen. It can't not happen around you. So one of the things that I really love is a friend of mine committed to being fit, and it was such a huge impact on this person's life to commit to the time frame, taking that time to get out of bed early, to eat healthier, and to set a goal and working towards it. You know, it goes back to what I shared about being a personal trainer. You see people make a commitment and they become strong, they become more confident, they are healthier, not just physically, emotionally. It's a little change that ends up having this huge impact. And it's really a great thing. So commit to yourself and keep working on those little changes. You'll be really glad that you did. The other thing I want to ask you is, what is your driving force? What is the driving force that's got you to where you are now and that's going to get you to where you want to be? Now, for people who have like the fear and the brokenness, those can be a driving force that are negative in and of themselves, but brought you here to this place where you're trying to make really positive changes. So the negative driving force brought you to a good place that's going to spur you on even further to a better place. Now, for those of you that don't have those kind of things, you've come here just to define yourself and set some goals. You've probably come from a good place. You've arrived at a better place, and you're still going on to yet a better place. And both of those are fine. What gets you here isn't the issue. It's what's going to be the driving force that gets you to continue to move on to where you want to be. So that's where you're going to use your journal and your life's mission statement to keep checking yourself. Where am I in this, and where do I want to be? Am I acting on my goals and my commitments to get me there? So if you think about time, it goes by no matter what you're doing. If you are laying on the couch, the day goes by. If you are getting up at the crack of dawn and putting in your time at the track, the time still goes by. The difference is you're going to get down the road and you're going to have a benefit if you are putting in your time and committing and you're following through on those things. If you're not, you're going to get down to the other end of the road and you're still going to be laying on the couch wondering where the month went. And I know we've all been through that. There's just seasons of life. And right now is a new season in your life. And you have made the choice to make changes and to define yourself. So you're going to see really great things happen. So right here, I want you to commit to yourself. I want you to also be very focused on who you are, where you want to be. And I keep saying that to you because it's just so important whenever you're setting goals. You've got to know where you're starting before you can figure out how to get where you want to be. The other thing is when you're working in your creativity, it is such an expression from your heart and from your soul. It's who you are. If you're not doing this, you're not alive. No matter what your talents and gifts are, you have to use them. It's just who you are. It does define you to such a great extent, but further defining yourself of what matters to you, your strengths, your values, your passions, your talents, and then your goals or your bucket list. This is all defining who you are. You know, we talked about the little tiny person inside of here, who you are at your core values. These things define you. Build on them and be good to yourself and gracious to yourself as you're working through this whole journey. It is truly a process. All right, girls. Finish up your statements. Feel free to share. Of course, this forum is going to stay open and available to you for months and months. So don't feel the pressure to get this done right away. But do be very, very committed to working on this so that you can start being your best creative self sooner rather than later. And I will see you next week when we start working on our vision boards. You can do it as a storyboard or even as just a visual cue on the cover of a journal. So we'll talk about that. And in the meantime, have a great week. I love you guys, and I will see you really soon. Bye-bye.